person asked for it, we read it. My name is Jess,
My name is Hannah.
and today we are here to talk about Credence by Penelope Douglas. Good old P. Doug, if you will. And wow, wow,
Wow.
wow. Chey, my goodness. Wow.
Yeah, I'm so upset.
I I had like
And I'm,
really mixed feelings throughout the entire thing, honestly. Um,
yeah. And if you would like to talk to us more in depth about the books we read, by the way, go ahead and join our book club.
yeah, especially any of our requested reads because we have linked our Badly Annotated Book Club to this very series, this one that you're listening to right now. So if you like this series, you might enjoy the book club and you can come talk about all of these really cool ideas with us before they're
Yep.
here.
Yeah. If you want to talk to us directly advance of the requested reads episode, you can head on over to the book club's app. Just look up Badly Annotated Book Club. You can go ahead and join it, and then you'll get email updates with our meetings. It's usually at the beginning of every month.
Yep.
And we would love it if you were to come talk to us, come chat with us, tell us your thoughts. Also, if anyone wants to request a book,
Yeah,
if we get enough requests and we get enough members, we might start putting it to a vote
precisely.
and we can start to get a community going. So if that is of any interest to you, please, please, please go ahead and join the book club because we'd love to chat with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, for right now, you can listen to us yap. So, I read all of this. I read
Yeah.
all 500 pages.
Why is it 500 pages? That's my first question.
Wow.
Second question, what?
Yeah.
Hey, what?
Yeah, the entire time. Okay, so how about we pause for a moment? Let's pause.
How about we take a breath?
Let's find God. Let's
Let's
find
all
the description of the book.
just wait before we even do that. Everybody, just take a second and close your eyes wherever you are. Unless you're driving, don't close your
Yeah.
eyes.
In
Definitely
that
watch the
case,
road if you're
focus.
driving, for sure. But if you are able, just close your eyes for a second, okay? And we are all just gonna take a calm, restorative inhale through the nose.
Hold. Exhale through the mouth. Wasn't that healing?
Wasn't that a gorgeous unifying experience for us
Wasn't it
all?
grounding?
Is your nervous system regulated? Well, get ready for dysregulation.
Yeah.
Jess, do you have the description for us?
And might I just add, this also has a solid 3.67 stars on Goodreads. So it's decisive. All right. Tiernan de Haas doesn't care about anything anymore. The only child of a film producer and a starlit wife, she's grown up with wealth and privilege, but not love or guidance. Shipped off to boarding schools from an early age, it was still impossible to escape the loneliness and carve out a life of her own. The shadow of her parents' fame followed her everywhere. And when they suddenly pass away, she knows she should be devastated. But has anything really changed? She's always been alone, hasn't she? Jake Vanderberg, her father's stepbrother and her only living relative, assumes guardianship of Tiernan, who is still 2 months shy of 18. Sent to live with him and his two sons, Noah and Caleb, in the mountains of Colorado, Tiernan soon learns that these men now have a say in what she chooses to care and not care about anymore. As the three of them take her under their wing, teach her to work and survive in the remote woods far away from the rest of the world, she slowly finds her place among them. And, as a part of them, she also realizes that lines blur and rules become easy to break when no one else is watching. One of them has her, the other one wants her, but he he's going to keep her.
Hey, what?
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be so for real with you. I've never read or heard the description of that in my life. First of all, why is it so long?
Yeah.
Second of all, what?
It's like her who is gonna what?
I didn't realize that technically the fact that she ends up sleeping with her step uncle and cousins is technically a spoiler. I thought that was like general knowledge from the description. I didn't realize that this was like a vague situation.
Uh, I I I would pick that up from the description. But I also take things to the extreme, so who's to say? But
Yeah.
yeah, so if you haven't already picked up, this is a step uncle slash step cousin situation.
Okay, but I feel weird calling it that because they've literally never met before.
They
They've
literally
never been a
haven't.
part of her life. They're not blood related at all. Like, essentially,
Exactly.
these are
They just
strangers.
like have this connection legally.
Yeah, and why does it have to be that way? Like, why do they keep having to like call her their cousin? Like, she's not your cousin. You've never met. You know?
Yeah. Legally, would it become a problem if they tried to get married though?
No, because they're separated. Like the dads,
Mm.
whoever, and the step uncles, whoever, are
It's also
separated.
different
So
states.
legally, yeah. So legally,
Okay.
they're not. This is not a thing.
Yeah, legally.
And so I don't know why. Like, so in my
It's
head,
like
the book
barely a
intentionally.
connection. It just like really wants us to think about it.
Yeah, and that's my thing is why does the
that's
book want
weird.
so bad for us to think of it that way when literally it's not that way?
Yeah.
Like
It's
not that way.
so strange.
So P Doug, why you gotta do that?
It's so strange. And like the intention
Like,
was
that was
so
intentional.
strong.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, the intention was strong.
Yeah, the intention was so strong. And like was it does she have a thing for it? I don't know, man.
What do you mean you don't know? You read the whole
No,
thing.
she for sure must have a thing for it herself.
Yeah,
'Cause, like, why?
oh, okay, and I only got about 100 pages in, and we met Caleb,
Uh-huh.
and that scene in the garage.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm sure there's more than one scene in the garage.
Oh my god.
But like, who is this feral man? Like, what is
Yeah,
wrong with you?
he is feral. Okay, so you know that he is like mute, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
since he was 4.
Yes, correct. So if you have not picked up, this is where we get into the entire backstory of this. So I'm just gonna run over this real quick, and then we can have a little freak out. So
Okay.
Caleb, when he was 4 years old, his mother, who she has not died, she's actually in prison. And
Okay.
so when Caleb was 4, what happened is she left him in a car and went to a bar. And like all night, he was just stuck in this car, doors locked. And he ended up being stuck out there for like 4 days in this car alone before he was found. And he
You
never
know what?
talked
I love
again.
a creative, dark backstory.
Yeah.
Never read that before.
Yeah. So
That's
never
fucked up.
spoke again. So that was crazy. Like he did know how to write because he would like write notes in like the margins of books. Like he would use the margins like journals. And like write little notes about the people around him, like his brother and Tiernan and his dad. But he would never write for anyone else though. Like he was so stubborn because he needed to have that control over that one piece of his life.
Right.
So, yeah, his story got really intense.
Mm-hmm.
And so, also, obviously, judging from the description, it is not a why choose.
I know, and I hate that. I hate that because like she keeps being referred to, like they keep saying hours.
Yeah.
Your hours. It's like, okay, what?
Yeah, it's like, okay,
why,
then
why you gotta
share.
like dangle that carrot in front of me and then just rip it away?
Yeah. And then as soon as Caleb started showing, genuine possessiveness over her, they just went, okay, well, we're going to let him have you. And it was just like a transfer of ownership.
What?
Yeah. It was so strange. And like, that's like how Jake explained it to Tiernan.
Does she not have agency?
Not really, to be honest. Like, Caleb just decides, and then Noah and Jake just like step back and they go, well, if he wants her, you know what? Brother hasn't had feelings since he was 4 years old, so let him have her. Yeah, and that's why she ends up with Caleb.
That's such a stupid reason.
Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she does, okay, she sleeps with all three of them, correct?
Correct.
But never at the same time?
No, she slept with Noah and Caleb at the same time once.
Okay, so if he can share.
Yeah, and even she was just like, why was it fine that one time? Like, what was up with that? I don't know. Jake never shared with any of the others. It was always like her and Jake only when it was with Jake.
I feel like brothers, in the context of books, I'm not talking about generally, and like,
yeah, I'm like that
in the context of books,
realistic.
Brothers
as realistic as
easier
this can
to
get.
deal with. Is easier to deal with than like a father-son sharing.
Yeah. Also, like the whole dynamic between Tiernan and Jake got so weird for a minute.
It's weird from the beginning.
It got really weird for a minute though, like cringily so. And Tiernan made it all the worse because she would purposefully call him Uncle Jake.
Ew.
And that made it so icky.
Why is this intentional?
It was so intentional.
Why are we doing that? P-Dog.
Yeah, and it's like, if she hadn't done that, it would have changed the book so much. So much.
It would have been probably okay.
The ratings probably would have been like closer to a 4.5 instead of the 3.67.
Yeah.
But yeah, it put so much intention behind it, and that was just so strange on so many different levels.
Also, is it just me, or is this book giving the same vibe, like the same atmosphere as Twilight?
Kinda, yeah. Yeah.
Like, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, definitely. It for sure is. So yeah, even when they were like really at their like most intimate, I just felt so odd about almost liking it and then going, I have a step uncle and I don't want to think about that. And then she kept calling him Uncle Jake, and then it just got really weird. And so I just like hurried through.
I just moved.
Yeah,
quickly.
I just went really fast through that and just went, okay, move along, keep going, get past it. Okay, we're good now.
I forgot that you literally have a step uncle.
And I'm like, I don't want to think about that. That's so weird. And so last time I'm going to be reading one of the familial tropes because I'm not into it.
But wait.
I'm not into that.
But wait.
You have not necessarily, because you know what? Jane Austen is like all cousins as well. But like modern familial.
Okay, but here's the thing. I think the difference is that it was intentionally reinforcing that familial connection. Whereas I've read books, for example, like Little Stranger. I forget who it's by off the top of my head. But it is foster siblings. But very early on in the book, when the two main characters are teenagers, she refers to him as her brother, and he said, "Don't call me that. That's not what I am to you. This is not like be." He essentially gives her like a "be so fucking for real" speech.
Yeah,
like we're just in
the situation, dude.
We're just in the same house. We have barely spoken up until this point. Like you can't claim some kind of familial connection to me when that has never been the nature of the relationship. And so it's like, okay,
but this is just weird.
This one leaned into it
so badly,
and I hate that. Also, I hated the scene where Noah like uses her to get back at like the girl in the
Yeah.
grocery store and like his competitor or
There were
whatever.
a couple
Like he
times
doesn't
that like Noah did some like things where I was just like, dude, come
hey,
on,
yeah.
like
Really?
grow up.
And then like when she first meets Caleb, I'm reading this, I'm like, "Oh, okay, so this is assault."
Yeah, there's more than one instance of that.
And then Noah just laughs it off and is like, "He's just like that. It won't happen
It's
again."
just Caleb.
What?
Yeah.
What? What? That's crazy. And listen, I wasn't going into this expecting it not to be taboo.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm not saying that
Yeah,
this is
you
a
didn't
bad
approach it
book
naively.
because of that by any means. Like, I think it would be stupid to read this book thinking that it's not going to be that way and then hating on the book for being that way when I was literally told it was going to be that way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like this book does, that's one thing I appreciate is this book does not lie about what it is. It is what it is. So, I do feel like we had fair warning.
Yeah.
And the writing is not bad.
True.
It's just the concept
Yeah.
is not for me.
Same.
And I've read taboo romance that was done well. For example, Little Stranger. And I'm not saying that this wasn't done well. It just wasn't done the way that I would like to read.
I agree.
And I didn't even get to like any like spicy scene or anything like that. So I can't even comment on that. But in terms of the relationship dynamics, okay, here's the other thing. Okay. Even without the taboo element, even without the element of there being this like familial connection tangentially,
Uh-huh.
I still would have had a problem with those relationship dynamics. I still would have had a problem with Noah using her to get back at somebody. I still would have had a problem with Jake treating her like she's inept. I still would have had a problem with Caleb basically assaulting her. Like, you know what? So my problem with the book is not necessarily the way that it kind of like leaned into that familial connection, because I would still have a problem with this even if that were not
Yeah.
here. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And that's why I couldn't get through it. And I feel so bad. I feel like such a fake because I'm just DNFing everything. Like nothing's working for me right now. And I also have just been insanely busy. So and in the worst reading slump of my life. And I just all of the books except Daughter of the Moon Goddess, like the podcast books, have not been helping. And yeah, these relationship dynamics, I just couldn't do it. And I'm gonna say it's a soft DNF because I do have a weird sense of morbid curiosity about it.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me want to like keep going just to see.
There's a
What's
weird
what?
pride in saying that I've finished it. I won't
Okay.
lie.
That's
Because
interesting.
it's also like our most commented on reel in a long time, which was
Right.
so shocking as well. Because
Yeah.
as soon as I posted about a controversial book, all of a sudden people just went, ooh. So I know y'all freaks are out there.
Right. Yeah. And I know we have consistent listeners. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I see you in the stats, bro. I see you're here. I also see that Burial Rites is our top episode. What?
Weird.
We know that you're just as weird as we
Yeah.
are. So
Yeah. We
like
see you.
like there is a weird I can see where that would
Yeah.
come from, of like there being like a weird like badge of honor, like I
Uh-huh.
was in the trenches and I
Yeah,
survived.
I feel like I've gotten like a sash.
Yeah, those of you who have read this, let us know. Do you feel that way? Is that the vibe?
Yeah. I mean, so I was at this networking event and I got chatting with this girl about books, and I mentioned that I read romance, and so she was like, "Oh my God, I also read romance." And so we were chatting about what we were reading recently, and then she started to hesitate and like go like, I don't know, like kind of gauging the audience.
Are you cool
And
like that?
I just looked at her dead in the eyes and I went, I'm reading Credence right now. And she went, oh, say word. So it's like
And
a
you know
litmus
what?
test.
And you know what? I think that is one merit of this book. It brings people together.
For real. If nothing else, it does do that.
It unifies a specific kind of reader. It's a good benchmark of like, I feel like there are two kinds of readers. There's the readers who have read Credence. There are the readers who haven't.
Yeah. There's a me
You are in
before
one
Credence
camp
and a
or
me
the other.
after.
Right, yeah. I like it seems, and already for me it has been a transformative
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else there's to say about it, to be honest.
What did you rate it?
Let me see, because I don't want to try to guess. I want to give you what my actual rating was. I rated it a 4. I give it a 4.
Girl, what?
Because if it wasn't for the intention, it wouldn't have been that bad. It was the intention that made it icky.
I think that the relationship dynamics are what make it icky.
I mean, that
I
too,
think
but
it
I've
still would
also
have
read
been
some things where, like, in a bubble, that was, like, pretty questionable too.
in a bubble.
Yeah, In a Bubble by Karina Wistera. He did
Okay.
not love her in the end. And that made it
Right. And
hurt.
and and then okay, and then where do you stand on like who she should have ended up with if it's not a why choose?
Honestly, in the end, like she she pushed Caleb to the point where she made him grow up. And so in the end he actually gave in and he went, she is worth talking for.
Okay.
And so like he actually stepped up in that way in like the final chapter. Whereas Noah, I think he was still just like a bit too childish. Like there were some things where I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, dude, are you in college? Like, get it
Well,
to
he's 20.
yeah. And it's like, yeah, but like, brother, you're surviving on a mountain in Colorado. Stop acting like that. Grow up.
This isn't a frat,
Yeah,
bro.
it's
Like at least Caleb is feral in the woods and
exactly,
surviving.
exactly. So in that regard, I think of all of them, I guess Caleb was the best one.
Yeah, I feel like from what I know, I would agree. And honestly, I think that I would just want her to end up with whoever was the least bad.
Yeah.
Like, I think Noah
I
sucks.
did also like
And
that Jake ended up with Kiernan's mom's assistant. I thought that was really
okay, I
cute.
thought that might
Yeah, like
happen.
they like
Yeah.
bicker and they like are at each other throughout the entire book. And then come the end when it's like the prologue and it's like 5 years later or whatever, she's like sneaking out
Epilogue.
of his tent when they're like family camping. And it's
Okay.
like a cute like old people sneaky relationship.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
So I do really
I
like that too.
yeah, I don't like Noah. I think he sucks. And in terms of Jake, he's better than Noah, but what I don't like is that he technically has control of all of her money. And I don't like the power dynamic of that.
Yeah.
Like at least it feels like she and Caleb are on a similar playing field, especially because they're both deeply
That
traumatized.
too.
Because she has a weird 1 a.m. thing. I haven't figured out what that's about, but
Yeah, and then like they kind of find like that like equal playing field at one point where it's like she realized that he was so fucked up because he was just feeling alone and like he couldn't trust anyone even if he was supposed to be able to. And she
yeah.
was like, "Oh shit, I'm feeling that exact same way because I never felt love even if I was supposed to have." And then they kind of have that like to go off of,
Yeah.
even though, there's it's not quite a language barrier, but it kind of is.
Yeah,
So that was interesting
that's
too,
true.
to like kind of figure out.
Yeah, and I also think that I just have a soft spot for that because I have a soft spot for characters with traumatic backstories.
Yeah.
And something that always gets me in particular is people healing together
Mm-hmm.
and specifically women who have been through some kind of a trauma, men too, I guess. Characters
I
who've been through
guess
some kind of a trauma
if they must.
coming around coming around and learning to love again and learning to open themselves up to that after something traumatic, and I identify really heavily with that.
Yeah.
So that's something that I tend to enjoy and like to see in books.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I have a soft spot for Caleb.
Fair.
As much as I think that his feral in the woods thing is ridiculous.
Yeah. He does that more than once
He-
throughout the book, too.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. He kind of has little
Bro.
temper tantrums in the woods.
You know what? But me too.
So, like,
Like,
his are just a
anytime
little
I'm
less
having
whimsical.
I'm not even kidding. It's not whimsical when I do it either. I'm not even kidding. There is a set of woods near me that I will literally, if I've had a bad day, drive myself into and go and sit in the grass and just like let it out.
Yeah.
So I feel like because I can understand him in a way that I don't really understand Jake and Noah,
Uh-huh.
I think that just makes me predisposed to like him better.
Fair.
But that's having only about 100 pages worth of information. And I'm like scared to comment on any of the characters because I'm afraid of what I don't know.
There's just so many little moments throughout the book that just like, yeah, it makes it so hard to talk about each and every one because it's just like, ooh, ooh.
Was the spice at least good?
The spice was admittedly decent.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have any complaints about the spice.
Which I feel like was probably like that's part of the point of the book, no?
Yeah, I think so. Not like some were definitely better than others. The spanking scene was interesting.
Interesting in a bad way or a good way?
Depends on if you like spanking. Yeah.
I don't know that I do.
I'm not sure you'd like that scene.
Well, if I get there, I'll make a reel about it, I guess.
You'll know exactly when you get there. Trust me.
Okay.
So there's that. There's just so many little moments where it's just like, how do I feel about this in relation to everything else going on right now? And so that's just like, oh, I don't know how to break it down in my head past that.
Right. Yeah, it's been interesting. There have been a lot of like eye roll stuff about this main character. Like, I think that she's like one of the only compelling characters.
Yeah.
Like Tiernan's perspective, like her internal monologue is at least somewhat intriguing.
It is. She's got a fun attitude, I think.
She does, and it's not like any other character I've read. Like the atmosphere is giving Twilight, but in terms of her specifically, she has an intelligence about her and this self-sufficiency that I feel often, especially in taboo romances, is missing.
And I feel like
Which
that
I
also
appreciated
grows
about her.
even throughout the book as well. Like as she learns how to take care of herself out in Colorado and whatnot, like she kind of comes into her own by the end of the winter, and that's really cool to see too, I think.
Yeah, I really liked the scene where she fixed the fridge.
Yeah. There's the fridge, and then like she learns how to do a whole bunch of shit. Even if she doesn't necessarily want to or isn't comfortable doing it, she still does it because she knows that she might need that skill to survive one day. And so even if, she might not like it, it's for her safety to still learn how to do it.
I like that.
Yeah. So kind of a bad
Who is
bitch.
I love that. Who is your favorite in terms of the spice of the male main characters? You just instantly turned bright red. I'm so sorry I asked you that question, but we have to at least talk about it. We're far enough into the episode that the dads will probably have stopped listening.
I've heard whisperings that the dads have just stopped listening.
Okay, perfect.
So we're safe.
Okay.
Jake.
Really?
Jake. Yeah.
Why?
Because he's got like the protectiveness about him.
Okay, yeah, it's giving North Draven.
Little bit.
I should have known. I should have known.
Yeah. Like, I think he calls her princess at some point.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. So there's that. And like, if she like storms into a room upset, follow her and be like, "What's this about? What do we need to fix?"
I think it's because he feels a sense of responsibility for her.
He does. And then once the relationship becomes intimate, it becomes like more on that protective side where almost it's like, I want to take care of you, but not in a paternal way.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a shift.
Yeah, there's a shift.
I feel like based on what I'm seeing so far, I'm gonna like Caleb the best.
Yeah. Even though he for sure is fucking feral.
Yeah.
I think you are too.
Yeah. Based on what we know about me.
Yeah. It could have been Noah, like I said, but like just a little too young, honestly.
Yeah.
Just
How old is Caleb?
he's like I want to say he's like 26 to 28 roughly.
Okay.
So like closer to our age.
And that's another thing is with Caleb and Jake, the age difference is weird.
Yeah.
Like you can make a reasonable argument for a couple months away from 18 and 20.
Jake also like walks in on Tiernan with the boys at some point. I'm like, that's something. It's
And he doesn't join in?
How do you feel about spanking?
Oh. Oh. Oh my. Oh. Wow. Okay. So maybe I do need to keep going, actually.
Yeah. Mhm,
Okay.
mhm,
Okay. All right.
mhm.
Fair. Well, that's Credence,
That's
everybody.
Credence. So if anyone else would like to recommend a book for us to read, and you can come yap to us about it at the Badly Annotated
And
Book Club.
this episode also should prove to you that we'll read anything.
Yeah, for real. We really don't have any limitations for requested reads yet.
If you didn't catch that from our obsession with Holly Wilde,
Yeah,
this is also your sign.
exactly. So you know what? Do your worst. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Chances are. You can recommend them to us on Instagram or Threads at Badly Annotated Pod, or you can email it to us at badlyannotedpod@gmail.com. And all of our links, including the one for the book club, are available through the link tree in our Instagram bio. And with that, best wishes, kindest regards.
Sincerely, Jess and Hannah.